Hi everyone, welcome to this special edition of the MuleSoft Meetup. Happy to have you here. We have a very exciting topic for today, which is accelerate Black Friday customer services. So everything in this digital world is about experiences. Whatever I do, I try to provide a good experience to the consumers. Um, it could be from the presentation point of view, it could be on social media, it could be in my demos, and same is for every business which is interacting with any end users like customers, partners, or employees. You need to make sure that you provide a good experience to that specific consumer in order to really benefit from your business. So today we have taken that use case of Black Friday, where customer service definitely is under pressure, receiving a lot of requests. So, and we are going to see how MuleSoft automation will be helping customer service to improve their performance during Black Friday. And this is just a starting point of a series of webinars. So this is not like a typical MuleSoft meetup you used to know from the past. We will be really talking about use cases. That's also the reason you see other colleagues from me in the call who will take ownership on it, and there will be a couple of follow-up webinars as well. So let's get started. This meetup session is, of course, a part of the APIForce Virtual Edition, which I'm organizing together with Michael Bosniak and Andreas Oberrauter, who have been supporting me here as well. Today they cannot join. They have different project engagements. And we have a very new Muley in-house in Switzerland who is also keen to support here. And in all future meetups, he will be organizing and hosting and moderating the virtual meetups as well as the face-to-face APIForce meetups in Switzerland. Greg, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you please give a quick introduction, what we can expect from you? What are you doing? When did you join and so on?
Absolutely. Thanks for the introduction, Amir. And sorry I can't put on my camera because the video or the audio quality will be quite bad. No one's missing anything with my video off. So Amir said I joined MuleSoft this summer, and I am going to be supporting the MuleSoft meetups, coordinating and moderating in the future, and also hopefully in the next couple of months bringing in some customers that can give real life examples to the topics that we present and which are relevant to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. Looking really forward to the customer use cases you will come up with in the future. Just for the community, as you know, every meetup is tied to a location. So this meetup APIForce is tied to the location Zurich, which I forgot to mention. Just added here. Few things before we get into the meetup. Keep in mind, it's not a training you are going to receive here. It's not an enablement. It's a use case presentation. In a different way, like you were used to have in the past, where really deep dives into the technical aspects of Mule apps and APIs. Still, if you want to learn more about MuleSoft products, you will find on training.mulesoft.com. Especially the self-paced courses. We have added the new course for MuleSoft robotic process automation, how to get started. It's a self-paced course. You can reserve around about 2 days to really hands-on experience on the product itself. Additionally, we are also providing this developer.mulesoft.com tutorials and how-tos, where you will find a lot of different tutorials. We will be adding very soon also automation-specific tutorials there, so you can put your hands on and try out different technical use cases. And for any kind of help, please use the help site of MuleSoft, or also for data with specific topic, you can also utilize stackoverflow.com. You will get the support as well. Few guidelines for today. This is a MuleSoft meetup, and as you can see, we have a couple of speakers and partitioners today in the meeting. So please put your questions in the chat. You will find a dedicated Q&A area which has been activated. Christian, Verena, and Heinz will be monitoring the chat and the QA, and we'll try to answer as much as possible. Remaining questions we will try to address at the end. If we are not able to answer all questions, we will send a post email after the meetup with the answers attached to the questions. Recording will be available on the APIForce meetup page on the MuleSoft meetups, as well as on the APIForce YouTube channel. And as I already mentioned, this meetup is a special edition where we are going to focus on use cases, more on industry-specific use cases from real-world examples. And it's just a starting point for additional meetups in the telco section, in the health and insurance, health life sciences sector as well, and other like IT operation use cases we have as well. So we will be continuously coming up with additional use cases, and you will find later on from the expert who are in the call more information how to what you can expect and how to register. With that, I want to introduce you to the speakers who will be contributing today, starting with Verena, Heinz, and Christian.
Thank you very much, Amir. Then I'll be starting for today. Welcome everybody also from my end. So my name is Verena Meyer-Schrenkler. I'm a MuleSoft account executive responsible for the patches of retail and telco. Next to that, I'm also covering parts of the travel, transportation, and media sectors, and I'm very happy to be speaking to you today. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Verena. Heinz?
Yeah, so hi everybody. My name is Heinz Kohlweg. I'm also an account executive and responsible for the healthcare and life science part. And yeah, we will see some different use cases than Black Friday.
Thank you, Heinz.
So my name is Christian Steinmetz. I'm an automation expert. So I work for many years in the area of robotic automations and RPA. So I'm happy to talk about that today with you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Christian. And also, the team today is the team where I daily work with. So we are really having daily meetings with customers, with Verena, Heinz, and we try to really consolidate what we learn on customer side, and we'll try to make use cases out of it, especially when we are talking about automation. And one of these use cases we have discovered together with Verena is about Black Friday and how automation potentially can support. We will see a very dedicated use case. You have seen maybe the retail use case example from Northern Trail Outfitters in a few other meetups where I have been presenting. And this use case we have taken now to in context of Black Friday. Because this Northern Trail Outfitters, the company has been automating their customer service process itself. But whenever now peaks are appearing, they have different possibilities. So either they can add new agents, customer agents to the picture to make sure that the customer experience, the loyalty is still something they can provide. But at some point, even automation is enabled, there will be peaks you cannot handle in terms of cases. So how would you go with it? How can you improve this further and accelerate your customer service on those peak days like Black Friday, Christmas, or Easter, and other topics as well. So this is the use case for today, and let's get started. I will hand over to Christian to take it for the introduction of MuleSoft automation, and then we will go directly into the demo use case.
Okay, thank you, Amir. So what I would like to do first is take you a little bit into history, from where are we coming and what's our vision, what we are following, and what is our view on companies and automation. So Last year, Salesforce, respectively MuleSoft, acquired ServiceTrace. So by the way, I'm one of the ServiceTrace guys who came with the acquisition to MuleSoft. Really glad about that. So ServiceTrace was a German vendor of RPA software, and MuleSoft has added their RPA product to its portfolio. And the already competitive solution of ServiceTrace has seen further improvements. So it stands out with so the innovation at the RPA core. It is very easy to use, to deploy, and to govern. And it is an integrated and comprehensive platform that considers all aspects of automation needs. So, but more about that today in our demo from Amir. So next slide, please.
Thank you.
So already what we would like to mention is that MuleSoft is a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for iPaaS and full lifecycle API management for at least 6 years. And this year we will be visionary in the topic of RPA quadrant through that acquisition of ServiceTrace. So this means we're uniquely positioned to support all of your needs for integration, APIs, and automation. And today we are focusing more on the automation part. ServiceTrace was already recognized as visionary by Gartner, but we were actually too small to be more above in that quadrant. And with the power to execute of MuleSoft and Salesforce, we are convinced that we will be in the upper right corner soon. So that's our target, and I'm really convinced that we will reach that. So next slide, please. So to come into automation in our discussion, so why is automation important? Let's take a look at an interesting graph. So the average lifespan of companies had dropped significantly over the last few decades. So we think this is an appearance of our fast-paced time. So everything goes faster, customer experience are growing, and so on. And one aspect of this appearance is certainly that many companies often don't succeed because they can't adapt technologies and processes quickly enough to new challenges. So, but next slide, please. But especially now and in the future, it is more important than ever because for many, it is a matter of survival. At the time when we are sliding from one crisis to another, like pandemics, wars, economic crisis, and so on. So the question is often disrupt or be disrupted. Yeah, so we want our customers to be disruptors, to be on the sunny side, and our automation and integration solutions help them to achieve this. With our solution, we help to make their processes efficient, sustainable, and assure business continuity in times of crisis. Yeah. So let's look on our current connectivity benchmark. So 70% say still that they are missing connected user experience. Only 28 of apps are integrated, and 60% say that they still experience lack of connected data and apps. But why is this? Also, many companies have already implemented RPA and automation projects. So because it didn't scale, and there were unrealized returns from invested automation. So loads of RPA projects even failed as they were more complex as actually expected. And so, but automation is still a critical need for businesses today, yeah, as they need to improve and adjust their processes continuously, but with often limited resources. And the manual processes prevent employees from spending time on high value work. So the business departments want to reach their business goals. So they are mentioned here on the left-hand side. So they want to automate manual reportings to close their books accurately. So that's their goal. So they want to eliminate repetitive tasks in the contact centers to be more efficient. And also in HR employee success, yes, they for example, to speed up payroll processes with process automation. But each of these teams and others spend 10 hours a week on average on repetitive and manual tasks, and that's definitely a problem, and it hinders them from being efficient. So next slide, please, Amir. So we are convinced that IT and business needs to drive digitalization together. And there's a trend that business teams also demand tools for automation and integration, but because IT cannot fulfill all the requirements which are upcoming at the moment in digitalization. So, but when business teams find opportunities to automate, they often struggle. So, because they often have to use automation tools that require coding, so it's hard to use, or collaboration between business and IT is not that easy because they have to use non-business friendly tools, or processes are not defined, so governance and collaboration is not effective. Or by the time they found the solution, that the requirements have evolved and different solution is needed in the meanwhile. So they meet different level of maturity and heterogeneous IT landscapes. So beside working on the maturity and awareness of the people to drive the digitalization, you need a platform built for both business and IT to make innovation possible. And so we now talked about a lot of challenges in the business units and challenges to make automation successful and scaling. And with our automation platform, we are addressing all that topics. So after the next slide, I'm super excited to see Amir's demo about MuleSoft automation, with which packages the right tool for every team to, so you can see it here on the slide, to move fast and easily automate any manual repetitive tasks with clicks and no code. So as we want to enable as many people as possible in the company to automate. So you can automate any customer 360 processes to improve how work flows for every employee and customer experience, because we always have the right tool and we always have the right tool for corresponding automation requirement, because you need often different approaches in automation, and we allow end-to-end automation with our comprehensive platform. So and work in unity with IT to automate more complex workflows, as we provide a comprehensive solution which also cares about governance, security, and compliance, because it's more about just building a process, building a bot. So it's much more, and therefore we have that platform implemented. And yeah, I'm glad to hand over to Amir to see it in action, right?
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for the introduction and the challenges. Very well stated. RPA has been there for several years now, and it has not been really successful. So everything is now changing. Automation at scale is needed. And in this use case, which we have prepared, it's focusing on the retail sector, but you can apply it basically everywhere where you expect peaks. Like, let's say you are building a customer-facing application which is replacing existing components within your architecture and customer-facing apps. Then you would have a hypercare phase. So the things we are going to see together now with the automation of MuleSoft together with Einstein bot, you could basically apply also in a hypercare mode, where instead users tracking and start logging service cases, tickets, they could directly communicate with bots, virtual workers, and engage with them in a way which was not possible so far so easily, which it is today with the MuleSoft automation solution, to automate even data which is completely in the back end, not just being there rule-based answering the request of the users. So we will be talking about Northern Trail Outfitters, the retail company who sells sport articles, merchandise, and so on online. And as we know, I think few of you have seen this part of the use case already. They have a very loyal customer called Rachel. So Rachel had a very great experience with NTO purchasing products in the recent few months. Product quality was great. Product delivery was on time, and now she's planning to go on a vacation, on a hiking vacation tomorrow on Saturday, together with her friends. And she has ordered hiking shoes from NTO. And she has entered the wrong delivery date there. So the shoes will be arriving next Friday while she's already on vacation. So she would like to get the shoes already today via express delivery. So she would be calling normally Michael. Michael is a service agent who will be supporting Rachel throughout the process, and he is really passionate about customer service. He loves to help customers. He validates the claims request and help them to get a great experience. However, Michael had a very difficult daily routine where he was really working in Service Cloud. This was his main cockpit, where he could see all the cases he's working on, what is his performance, resolution time, response time. But sometimes, based on the customer cases which came in via omnichannel, he had to check upon the case itself, got the advice from the next best action from Einstein recommendation, and sometimes he had to put the customer on hold, where you start listening to music, and then he had to do some heavy lifting. They have a very old order management application which provides no API at all, so it's really completely so far impossible to integrate with. So he has to start a remote desktop to that specific environment, log into remote desktop, log into the legacy application, find the customer, update the needed data, and then continue basically into NetSuite, because NTO has few business analysts who are working in NetSuite, and update the order information there as well. And then returning back to the customer and confirming that the case is closed. So this was what he was used to work, and he spent in this manual work round about 10 to 15 minutes based on the case, and sometimes even longer if he entered the wrong information. He's a human. He can obviously make failure. So this was a very inefficient work. And sometimes also, while customer was idling for 10 to 15 minutes, they dropped. Right, so he had to call the customer back to confirm and close the case that everything is fine. So NTO had already realized it, so they have automated it. Right, so now Michael can completely stay in Salesforce Service Cloud. This is his main cockpit, and where in the past he had to put the customer on hold, now he can continue the conversation because MuleSoft automation has been implemented already. They have experiencing already the advantages of it. So a bot is triggered at some stage in the process, and the bot logs in to this legacy environment without API. Look for the customer, find the customer data, update it there, and then once the bot is completed, MuleSoft Composer is watching the bot on success. So everything, if this is done successfully, then MuleSoft Composer is triggered, hand over the data which is provided from the bot, goes into NetSuite and update the order. And this process is now taking around about 4 to 5 minutes. While this automation is going on, Michael can now really build a relationship with the customer. He can also answer additional questions of the customer, or maybe introduce new offerings. So this has been already a great improvement for Northern Trail Outfitters, where they have taken cost takeout, so the real value from automating this scenario. So first of all, eliminating the waiting period for customers. So no queuing time anymore, because Michael can now directly react, understand the case, and just process it. Also, the resolution time decreased. While Michael was taking 15 minutes in the past, now it's done in 3 to 4 minutes. Also, the productivity of Michael has been increased, or the agent's team has been increased 4 times more cases per day. And this is a great thing because the agents are paid on the number of closed and solved cases. So this is also for him and his team a personal benefit. And the human error rate has been completely reduced. We say 99% because there's still the uncertainty of the technology, which can happen anytime, like the bot is not available or something with the EC2 or the client system is not working. There could be this 1% why it's 99. Normally it would be 100%. So this has been already a great benefit for NTO. But now, last year, where they did not had the automation, during Black Friday, it was like a really disaster scenario for NTO, because everything can be done now. So can be done and shared in the social media. They have received very bad critics on the Black Friday event, where customers waited for 2 hours in the queue and were disconnected, and they had literally 1 month to get the claim addressed. So very poor service organization. They claimed here others were also reporting long waiting times. And what interesting here is that you are sharing this experience with the community, and you can see that there are people who are reading it and they agree basically on the same experience. And this is very harmful for any organization. And even now, NTO has automated the process. Since October, they have been seeing great experience with the customer, less resolution time, and so on. They are afraid of Black Friday because Black Friday, they have great offerings to provide to their customers. But on the other hand, this Black Friday brings also the number of cases, which will be increased. Even things have been automated. Cases cannot be processed by the service agent team. So they have different options. Either they hire new people, which need to be enabled. So you have to teach them how to work with the cases, how to solve them, where to use which kind of recommendations, and so on. And the other option would be to try something else out. So this is what they want to avoid. They have been working so hard now with introducing of the automation. They have got a great experience from the customer, the loyalty, and you can measure this, right? Because customer will come back, customer will rate your service, and they don't want to have now Black Friday breaking all this down and taking it away, because the service team is not able to handle this high number of requests in time. And Christmas is also coming, so there will be also additional numbers of requests coming in to do changes on the shipment date, address, order data, basically. So what is the solution? Currently, they are like this. Michael and his team is working in Service Cloud through Omnichannel. They take over the cases, and luckily they are using Service Cloud because Einstein chatbots are also part of the Service Cloud environment. So what they have been suggested now is why they don't remove Michael to be the first contact, and Michael and his team to be the first contact during these peak times, and introduce chatbots in their service portal, which will be the first touch to start the conversation with the customers and provide assistance. And still, if customers have really a issue or claim, case, request which cannot be addressed by the bot, they can always go to talk to an agent, and then the bot will connect them to the agent. But if there is the assistance is able to provide a guided experience for the customer to update the order information or any kind of request they are having, so the bot can do basically the same what Michael was doing in the past, triggering a bot, a RPA bot, to update the legacy environment. And here many things can be reused already from the previously automated scenario, where then the bot will do the automation, and Michael and his team is not involved at all. So customer is now interacting with the chatbot, and then Composer will also update the backend system. And once everything is updated, the customer, Rachel in our case, will receive the email confirmation that everything is set and fine. So this is the use case what we have been preparing, and it also enables the customers to do the self-service on their cases. Yeah, so you can really, during these peak times, you can move your attention from the service agent team to real scenarios, real issues, and they can focus on additional stuff which cannot be automated. And this is basically what we are going to see now in a live demo. So I hope really this case is clear from the point of view of the automation piece. So what I will be doing is basically, first of all, this is the composer flow which has been built. I will not go into this details. Just for you, what we are doing is a bot will be triggered, like with the previous case, from Salesforce Service Cloud. So in this case, the Einstein bot will trigger the RPA bot, which will do the update in the order management system. Then once this is done, it will pass the parameters to NetSuite, and then NetSuite will be updated. Once this is done, it will look for a case or cases which has been created by the chatbot itself through the interaction with the customer. So everything is tracked, and all cases which has been created and are in a new status, they will be closed, and email confirmation will be sent to the customers with the reference to the case, as well as that everything has been updated successfully. In order to give you an overview, what Michael basically was doing in the past was really he was going to NetSuite environment. You can see this is the order of Rachel Smith. The memo field is here, which will be updated. He entered the notes, why he's updating here the memo field, the order itself, and the shipment date, which is currently set to 17th of November. This will be updated to 11th of November by Einstein bot through the trigger to RPA. So let's get started. What we have here is the customer service portal of NTO, and I'm having also the inbox of Rachel opened already, because this will be now also introducing few things which are important, especially when you leave a bot do the interaction with the backend systems. You want to ensure that a given security is there. So let's start. So Rachel comes to this customer service, and now she needs this urgent request to update the hiking shoes to get it already today. So what she can do is she can chat with an expert. And this expert, so first of all, she has to enter here, who is she? So it is Rachel Smith, rachel.smith at gmail.com. And now before I start chatting, very important thing, I have to activate my composer flow. As this is my personal environment, I'm not activating it completely. I will just run it now for this demo. So let me wait for the flow to get activated. This was important, I forgot about it. So, and meanwhile, while the flow is getting activated, I can already start chatting. So you can see an agent is on the way. And now this is not Michael and his team. It's really a chatbot who is introducing himself and suggesting few things. What would you like to do? How can I help you? What's your purpose? So Rachel has now the option to do different things. First of all, manage my orders, show me new offerings, talk with an agent is always an option, provide feedback. Yeah, so she want to get the order updated, the shipping date. So she would say, manage my order, just using the mouse, or on the mobile phone, she can just tap on it. And now he's asking the chatbot, what would you like to do next? Yeah, so track order delivery, where's my delivery, update shipping, place order again, or again, talk to an expert. So she would say now, okay, I want to update my shipment. So, and now let me go here to the browser where I have the inbox of Rachel. So now the bot is asking her for the customer ID, of course. She can provide the customer ID, which is C202 and 400. She enters it, and now there is an email information, contact information attached to the customer ID. You see, I receive a chat code, which I have to confirm here that I am really the person attached to this ID. So this is the pin which you see here. Just entered my inbox of Rachel. I need to provide this code so they can continue, or the bot can continue. Now the bot will take it. Okay, approve. This is Rachel. For this order ID, we found a specific hiking shoe which has been ordered, and it has not been yet fulfilled. Is this the order you want to update? Rachel say, yeah, exactly. These are my shoes, and I would like to receive them today already. So she says yes. So what would you like to do next? Yeah. So would you like to do update the delivery address? Would you like to update the delivery date or talk to an agent? And here now you see also the time, the waiting time, which he got from the queue. So now she can say, okay, I want to get the delivery date done. So she clicks on the delivery date. And now what will happen is the bot will suggest few available slots. Luckily, today is possible. So she can now say, I want to get this express delivery. And the bot will now do few things. First of all, it will trigger the RPA bot into the environment. So the RPA bot will now start in a secured session, not visible. We cannot see it because it's running in the secured session. We could potentially see it from the RPA manager. However, it is now opening the order management system application, logging into it, finding Rachel's order, and updating the delivery date to 11th of November, so with the express delivery. And then once this is done, it will continue to NetSuite. And the bot is asking me, okay, look, I've processed everything. This is the number you need to now remember, 1105, because I have created a case for it. So let's go into my Service Cloud environment and just quickly log in, of course. You can see already, no, you cannot see it, but let me just log in. This is the typical cookie expired. Okay, you see there is a new case created, Einstein bot update order delivery. The status is on new. So basically this is just for documentation purposes. Yeah? So this case has been created and it will be tracked. Every action or failure will be tracked there. So while Composer is now listening to the RPA execution, which you can see is processing now because the bot has completed, it will continue to go to NetSuite, get all the different records which has been added recently, because the Einstein bot is can handle multiple users at the same time. So this is why we get all the records from Salesforce, and for each record we track it and make sure that it is completed, the iterations are done, and so on. And order confirmation email is sent, which I should have been received now. So you can see everything is fine. Order delivery date is set. I will receive my shoes on 11th of November. This was the reference case which I opened for you. I've closed it. Have fun with your hiking shoes. So this is basically what has been done through the Einstein bot. And let's see in NetSuite if it has been updated. So this is the order. I need to refresh it here. Again, I need to log in. Okay. And you see this RPA bot updated via Einstein. Process details, success, and on the bottom I should see 11th of November, which is completely fine. This has been done. And the order management system was really executed on a secured environment in order to give you an overview how it looked like. So the very first step which Einstein triggered is a simple RPA bot, which opens the order management application, update the order, and then close the order management application in order to give you the impression how a RPA bot is running. I will just deploy it locally. So it's not the same process. It's, I brought it back into the build phase and showing you this is the simulation of this legacy application, a simple LibreOffice form where you will see promised by date will be changed to 11th of November, and everything will be then closed and saved, cleaned up, and everything is done here. So the order management system is updated through exactly RPA. And the reason why we have done it with RPA is because it had no API, and the rest, NetSuite and so on, was triggered and executed via Composer. So direct connectivity, so you don't need to use RPA for these kind of things. And this is basically what happened in the system. And also here, you see the order itself, if I refresh again, should be closed. So you see this order has been closed. And if I go in the order itself, it should basically show me what was it. It has also commented with my users. First of all, the case was created, and then everything has been updated. So this case is closed, and customer is informed by email, which was exactly this email what I showed you here. So now let's take a technical look. What does it really mean for automation? What were the components we have been using? But before we go there, let's see how they have improved. So after the demo, first of all, as the Einstein bot will address different users in parallel, so we have empowered customers to self-service themselves, so eliminating again during these peak times the waiting period, a less number of cases where agents are involved, because Einstein will handle those. If something went wrong, of course, an agent will be assigned to take care about the case. But in this case, it was a straight execution. The case was solved by Einstein. So the service agent can really focus on real issues, productivity and efficiency. So 10 times faster with the Einstein chatbot together with automation, and the reducing error rates remains the same because there's this uncertainty of the technology. So with the Einstein bot and automation, NTO has now not even introduced automation, but also is able to address peaks for the service agents and solve these high number of requests in a acceptable time frame. And this brings them that even during Black Friday, they can shift the focus, introduce the bots during these peak times, while as the service agent can focus on real issues, and the bot will provide very same experiences. And if a bot is not able to help and assist the customer, they will be redirecting it to the service agent. And with this, you have a increasing customer loyalty. You can keep the customer experience and concentrate on your business itself. With that, let's take a look, because we have now used different kind of components, which I want to highlight, and how you will be using it, especially for the MuleSoft community, but also how you extend it to Salesforce. What were the different components we have seen in the background? So first of all, the MuleSoft automation itself, the solution is tied to the C4E, Center for Enablement concept, where you have with any point already a platform which enables you to produce assets to be consumed by developer and a line of business IT, by providing these APIs in a reusable manner. And now with MuleSoft automation, we are extending the capability and providing capabilities to customers which were not able to solve before. Now they can introduce RPA and go to all legacy application, to all unstructured data, client-server apps, documents which need to be processed in a quick way, and introduce RPA to automate these kind of things. Again, this is part of the production area. And once these RPA automation process have been built, they can publish it in the Exchange portal as APIs. So every automation which has been built is available to the broader organization, to teams who are working with it. They can consume it and benefit from it. And finally, you give the control to business back. Because when you look into these different teams, who is interested in automation? It's not the IT team. They want business to be successful, but they are not really interested in automation. Neither it is the automation team. Even they are having this title automation, but automation is just their day-to-day work, but they are not really interested in it from the business point of view. The only persona who is interested in it, but so far did not have control upon automation, is the business people, business team. And now they can use MuleSoft Composer as part of the Center for Enablement on the consumption side, and connect to any business application like Salesforce, NetSuite, Slack, Jira, and many, many more, and just automate the workflows with point and click automation. If there is a need to connect to more like specific backends like SAP, where you want to trigger APIs to be much faster in the process, they can connect to any point platform and consume the APIs there directly. Or if they have any legacy application they would like to automate, they can get the assets from the RPA or automation team and use it part of Composer and trigger it in their process. So everything when it comes to automation is owned by the business, and the other teams, IT and automation team, are just contributing with the capabilities to support business to automate. And with this approach, you are giving now the control back to the right team, who is responsible for automation, but also who understands what need to be automated and what are the different scenarios. So automation is a team sport now addressed correctly through Composer and the business teams having the ownerships. Now we take it to a more technical level. The MuleSoft Automation Suite consists of different products. Of course, you have the Anypoint platform, which many of you know already, where you are using Anypoint Studio to build the APIs, the Mule applications, and once you have built it, you deploy it to the runtime. It will be deployed as Mule app, and you can publish it also in Anypoint Exchange. So now MuleSoft Automation Suite is adding the capability of RPA, UI automation, and MuleSoft Composer, where you can now use again the RPA building part to automate different kind of apps. You see here just few, and once these apps are automated, you basically deploy them into the RPA manager, or you save it into the RPA manager and deploy it into a farm which you have built on your private cloud or on your private systems, on-premise systems where the bots are running. And these bots can now take these automated processes and run it on scheduled basis, and also just execute the automation process. With Composer, you can connect to different apps which you are using, deploy it in the embedded runtime of Composer, and also consume the bots you have published in RPA Manager. And from RPA Manager, you can even go beyond and publish these bots to Anypoint Exchange, where now all these automation processes will become available as an API, not only in Exchange, but also providing a connector to use in your Mule flows directly. And once you do so, you can deploy your Mule apps into your Mule runtime and trigger the RPA bot as part of your Mule flow. And this works vice versa. We are also allowing you to trigger APIs via HTTP to the Mule Anypoint APIs, as well as from RPA, you can do a HTTP call via REST component and trigger the Mule APIs. So this is a full picture of the automation solution with the different responsibility we have seen in the previous slide. Working together with IT and automation team, business can be enabled and take the ownership on automation using Composer and drive it from there. Of course, you have seen we have been using Salesforce ecosystem in the demo. So how is it playing together with Salesforce? So what is even more exciting is that this MuleSoft automation is extending the Salesforce Flow portfolio, where Flow Builder, orchestration, Flow in Slack, and Flow Action help you to really do powerful things in Salesforce already. It is part of the Salesforce ecosystems. And now bringing in the Flow integration and Flow RPA, which is represented by MuleSoft Composer and MuleSoft RPA, you can now go beyond. Connect to third-party applications with a no-code solution with Composer, and automate legacy application which you were not able to automate before and integrate before with MuleSoft or Flow RPA in this context. And the technical capacity is similar. So you have MuleSoft Automation Suite on the left-hand side. Everything has been built here. So how can the Flow Builder use it? So basically, first of all, you need to connect your Flow or your Salesforce ecosystem to Anypoint platform. And every API which is published in Exchange, it could be a Mule API, it could be a RPA automation API, it will become part of the toolbox which you can just simply use within your Flow Builder and use it part of your Flow orchestration and do the automation even beyond the Salesforce ecosystem here. All right. And with this, I think we are a little bit over exceeding. With this, I'm bringing this back to the industry specific webinars, where we will not stop here. I mentioned this in the beginning. With Black Friday, we are introducing the concept of a continuous sector-specific webinars we will organize for the MuleSoft meetup community, to just benefit from the use cases we are experiencing in the field and presenting it to you. So I would like to hand over now to my colleague Heinz Kohlweg to take us through the healthcare life science use cases.
Yeah, thank you, Amir. Can you go ahead?
Yeah.
So I took two typical use cases in the healthcare and life science industry. So the first one is inventory purchasing. So a biotech professional has to do a lot of things. So building med devices, and he has very limited time to do orders and so on. And the second one is in a hospital. So the patient admission. So they're receiving phones, mails, emails, PDF, XLS from the doctor, from patients, and they have to handle that. One slide more. So first case, the inventory management. As I mentioned, so meet the Martin, who is this biotech specialist. So his main focus is, of course, producing med devices. And for that, he needs products to build it. So what he has also to do is to order stuff that the stock is always full, that he can really produce these med devices. So what is this on a daily basis, what he has to do? He has to log into the ERP. He has to check the stock. Then he has to, he found out, hey, sorry, I need some material. So he needs an approval from his manager that he can get order this stuff. Then the purchasing order will go out. Then the order will be released. And of course, in this while the order goes back, we'll confirm that the material is coming. So typically it goes to 2 hours for something like that. So, and there are many errors, as you think he has other things to do, like how do I do that on the street where I have to do the med device and so on. So that could happen that errors come. So human errors. It's really time consuming, and probably it's not so accurate. So this is a typical use case where automation can help Martin to do that better and do that. So second case.
Mhm.
So this is Sandra, and Sandra is sitting in a hospital and she's receiving a lot of material. As I mentioned before, a doctor has a patient. He would like that he goes to the hospital. He sent material to them via PDF, via an Excel, via an email, or the hospital by themselves, the patient have to fill out handwritten mail, send them a mail, and Sandra is doing her job. If you go 1 and 4, what she has to do is on her daily routine. So she has open the email, the mail, the Excel, and she has to do something. So she has a lot of manual tasks, and it's not only 2 hours; it could be the 8 hours job for them. And also here, we have, of course, with automation to help her that she can do really her job, not only putting instructions in the system. So this is only two of example that we have. And if you are interested in HLS, other use cases, please meet us on our session on the 8th of December. If you have a handy, please take the QR code and then you can register yourself on that. Thank you.
Awesome, Heinz. Thank you. So on that date, we are going to see the solutions, right? So we are going to take the community, how we automated these two use cases.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so you know what to expect. These slides will be available later on as well. So let's also, in respect of the time, let's continue to the next use case. Verena, over to you.
Thank you very much, Amir and Heinz. Let's quickly dive into two of the telco use cases, if you proceed. I picked two. One basically focuses on customer onboarding, but then also customer communication. And the second use case will be on what we call swivel chair scenario when it comes to customer support. So if we starting basically that's kind of based on a personal experience. I myself wanted to look for a new mobile contract, and I passed by a shop, and within that shop I made an agreement with a sales representative to enter an agreement or a mobile contract, and she actually put all my information into an online form, printed that online form, had me sign it. I then realized there was a box ticked for something I didn't want to have included there, so I asked her to cross it through. What happened later on my customer profile online, I realized, okay, that information did not find its way through to my customer portal. So what I had to do is call customer support to speak with a service agent. Obviously, I had to wait a couple of minutes until what was put through. That service agent, looked into my profile, looked into my contract, was able to remove that one point as well. But I think that example really showed that, I had to that extra work in the very initial beginning, because the transmission from that format and with the manual adjustment into the customer system didn't work, and then me waiting when the service agent was really working on my case. I would also see different other topics when we're looking at this overall onboarding and also the communication process and then with telco companies. If we think of invoicing, if we think of promotions that companies are sending out based on a customer's consumption in terms of data, in terms of speaking minutes, in terms of the overall contract, right? I just now received an offering relating to Black Friday as well. And obviously, we could also imagine that now with Black Friday coming up, potentially also Christmas and other events, that there are also higher peaks to be expected when the customers would like to speak to a service agent. So I think there are different points where we with MuleSoft Automation could be helping our customers in the telco industry, and I would like to focus on these on our following meetup. Let's also quickly jump into the other use case that we prepared, which is on this swivel chair scenario. So basically that is when the customer is encountering an issue, for example, internet disruptions, or the landline is not working any longer, then the customer is calling the service agent. And I think that it often already starts, right? There is then this menu. You need to authorize yourself. You need to select the issue that you actually have in. But potentially you have to wait until you actually be put through to a service agent. Here again, waiting times may be much longer when, for example, in a specific area of the city, the landlines are down, there is any issue, right? So again, a peak event here. And then it continues to the service agent. Service agent is obviously needs to look into different systems. The service agent will go through a specific checklist, will then also later on, if the issue cannot be discovered, log into the different operational support systems. And then, once the error is discovered, obviously take the equivalent or the respective action. But as you can see in this scenario, I pointed this out, there may be quite a lot of waiting times, and we believe also that we could be addressing this with MuleSoft Automation. And if we move on to the next slide, then if you're interested to learn more about how we could be addressing this, please feel free to scan this code already. We're planning the next meetup session for January 12th, and we'd be very happy to see you there.
Awesome, Verena. So I'm really excited because I'm the guy probably who's going to implement and build a demo. So really looking forward to it. So thank you for preparing it. As mentioned, let's continue in respect of time. These slides will be available later on, so you can scan and register, and you will anyway get a notification that a new event has been entered for the 12th of January. All right, there are a few IT operation use cases as well, where I will be talking about on existing customer requests. So there are few customers here in Switzerland who are using Anypoint. We have introduced them automation portfolio. So they said, why cannot we try to do Anypoint troubleshooting with automation. So we want to monitor APIs, and we have a checklist where IT Ops is going through before contacting us, who are the Mule experts. They are running our Mule runtime, on-premise runtime fabric, and in the Cloud Hub. So there is a specific admin checklist which they go step by step and try to fix the issue. And the second one is about a case we have automated in our solution engineering team, user creation for RPA manager. So we have a shared tenant, and we had to always create a new request, and somebody has to then go look into the request, approve it, and create manually the user to the RPA manager. So we will be looking to this two scenarios where IT Ops, we have Ernie, who is the administrator. He's managing basically Cloud Hub, all the different runtimes in his organization. And the use case is if there's a failure, what Ernie has, he is not really an expert on MuleSoft. He is going then through a checklist which has been provided by the MuleSoft expert team in the organization. And then he checks on different things. So logs, interpret the errors, try to fix it. If additional request is needed, he create a Jira ticket so the Mule team can be involved. Otherwise, he fixed the error. And this is very time consuming, and he has other work to do as well. So this is something we will be looking at, how you can automate it. Especially it's very rule based, so perfect candidate to automate. The second scenario is about Kreshnik, who is getting these requests to add a user to our internal RPA manager. And he fixed the issue. He's a colleague of mine, and he has automated this process. So we will be looking, and I will try to invite him to present this use case, how you can automate these kind of administration tasks which are there for the IT operations team and get the challenge solved with automation. So there are different other aspects, and the more we learn and from the industries, we will be presenting and coming up with additional use cases. And here we don't have yet the event planned. It will be somewhere in February. So December will be HLS, January will be telco, and then in February we will have this IT Ops use case presentation. So questions, I think we can look into the questions now. And also let me check, because I guess we have a quiz set up as well. So let me quickly check if there were questions which were not answered. So first of all, by Joey. Hi, Joey. Nice to have you in the meetup. So he's asking, could you confirm that RPA runs everything in the cloud on Windows machine managed by MuleSoft? Will we have access to the Windows machine to install any required application? Great question. I think it's super valid. I did not mention, I just show it on the architecture slide. So the RPA client, the bots are Windows applications. So they are running on Windows, but MuleSoft is currently not providing any kind of Windows installation to you. So you have to set the bot up in your environment and make sure they are available and connected to the RPA manager. So what MuleSoft is providing as a hosting environment is the RPA manager running in the same infrastructure like Cloud Hub. And you will be installing the bot on your side, either in your private cloud on EC2 instances or on your Windows machine managed by your company, your organization. The second question also from Joey is, just to confirm, we just need to log into Anypoint platform to access APIs from Anypoint platform. No need to create external services. Where can we find more resources on it? Also, very good question, a bit forward looking here. So currently it's via the HTTP connector. There is initiatives ongoing. Don't get me on this. It's about shareable APIs, so you can connect Anypoint from Composer and then get the APIs you have been published in Composer. It's something we are working on, not yet released, but you can consume the APIs via the HTTP connector from Composer. So the previous question is actually for the Salesforce flow. how we can manage MuleSoft APIs from Salesforce Flow Builder. Okay, so thank you for the confirmation here. So from Flow, what you have to do, it's fully documented. You connect your AnyPoint platform via connected apps in your Salesforce ecosystem, do the authorization and so on. So there's a described step-by-step guidance on it. And then you can import basically all the APIs which are published in Exchange and get it settled through this Flow Builder. All right, let me quickly check. Okay, so were the questions. Okay, we have one more thing left. I guess it is the quiz we have planned. So let me quickly share again my screen and go to Kahoot. We will do the quiz in Kahoot here and share my screen again. And the way Kahoot works is basically, first of all, you have to go to kahoot.it. So either, I think best is you open it on your mobile phone, open the browser, write in the address kahoot.it, and then you will be in a dialog where you have to basically enter a code, which I will be just giving you. It has been logged me off. I have to find now the right email address, which I created the quiz with. The first challenge already now. So where is my quizzes? So Black Friday quiz here. And let's start it. So everyone who has opened kahoot.it should now be seeing a screen to enter the game pin. And this is basically the game pin. Newly, what I also realized is you can also scan the QR code here to directly get there. Let me also maximize it. Hopefully it will not. Yeah, so you can also scan this. So Joey is already in, Thiru is also in, Pratik growing. So the MuleSoft team, please don't participate. And Christian. Okay, Verena is also there.
Sorry, I won't do anything.
No, it's okay. You can play.
Okay.
Okay, so Joey, let's give 20 more seconds and then we start. All right, so let's get started. So you will see the options by the color on your mobile phone. And the first question is about, what is the name of the automation solution of MuleSoft? Is it MuleSoft Automate, MuleSoft Anypoint Automation, MuleSoft Automation, Salesforce Automation? Heinz, what do you think?
I know it, but I don't say it.
Okay. Okay, so let's see. It's MuleSoft Automation. Yeah, so 4 people were correct here. Let's continue with the next one. Srinivas, you are leading. Jai Krishnan and Shruti, you are on the podium as well. Let's continue with the second question. What are the components of MuleSoft Automation? Anypoint and Composer, RPA and Composer, Composer, RPA and Anypoint, or RPA and Anypoint? We have seen this slide with the different components where all these components were listed. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. Good. It's Composer, RPA, and Anypoint. Nice. Are on the podium. So let's see who's going to win. MuleSoft Automation is complementing ... Salesforce Service Cloud, Salesforce Flow, Salesforce Sales Cloud, or none of the above. Salesforce Flow. Of course, we have seen the demo on Salesforce Service Cloud, so maybe this was a bit irritating, but it was on the slides. Salesforce Flow is being extended. So Thiru is leading. Shruti and Pratik, you are now on the podium. So let's see. The fourth question is, how can you support customer service during peak, such as Black Friday? With chatbot plus automation, higher payment for more closed cases, allow them to use APIs, give them access to Salesforce Sales Cloud. Let's see. Awesome. So with chatbots plus automation. So now let's see. It's Pratik taking the lead. Shruti and Thiru, you are still on the podium. And Joy is just right behind you. So let's see who wins the quiz today. Automation is what? A team sport. Reality with MuleSoft automation. Enabling digital transformation. Fun. Heinz, what's automation for you? It's everything, right?
Fun.
It's fun. So let's see. Black Friday meetup quiz. Who is third? Thiru, congratulations.
Congrats.
Ooh.
Shruti. And who is on the first place? Pratik. Nice set. Thank you. Awesome. And also shout out to Joey and Srinivas. Well done, team. Was awesome to host you today. Thank you for joining. Heinz, Verena, Christian, any closing words?
Well, thank you very much for participating today. And yeah, we'll hope to see you again in our next upcoming meetups.
Yeah, looking forward for the 8th of December.
And any input, I guess, in terms of if you have any specific use cases in mind, please let us know.
Yeah, and feel free to connect with all of them in LinkedIn and feed them with use cases. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
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 I'm recording now. So bye.